you start thinking, Scott Russell, start thinking about the world and where it's going, and really, come on, let's all be honest with each other here. You could almost say, come now, you rich. Weep and howl for the misery that's coming on you. Because I think the land, the people, like the labourers whose wages you've held back, cry out against you. In a time of slaughter, you've feasted. And I think that sums up our lives. We've looked at a world that, we've forgotten the poor. And people, I ran food pantries for years, and people have got no interest in that. They're quite happy to pay somebody else to do a little something, throw $1 here or $1 there, and it makes them feel good. But let's get really right down to it. Come now, you rich. Weep and howl for the miseries that's coming on you. The biggest concern people seem to have with the globalist agenda is the loss of their livelihood in the sense of money. They want their money. They want to be able to know it's there tomorrow, and I can get richer and I can get fatter. And in a time of slaughter, really, where the world is falling apart, people are falling apart, people are being destroyed, all people want to do is get more, bigger, better, faster, more. And it should really serve to show us the heart of mankind, shouldn't it? To show us our hearts. It's so easy to get focused on the wrong things. And sometimes we can look and go, it's just so far back. I have so much around my life. I have so much that I'm doing. I have so much responsibility. I have so many commitments. How do I get out of here? How do you get back to innocence? How do you get back to coming back to your first love? Or maybe you've never had that first love. How do you get back to that? It's like a promiscuous woman or a man, I think I'm going to use women. A woman can get so caught up in looking for love, so caught up in prostituting her soul to get love, that they've lost love, and they don't know where love is anymore, and they don't even have a love for themselves anymore. And so it starts to become a love for things, a love for money, a love for houses, a love for power, a love for their children, a love for something, but they've really lost touch with themselves. Come now, you rich. Weep and howl for the miseries that are coming on you. And, the labourers, the people that have, the wages of the labourers that we've had work for us cry out against us, that are unpaid. People have cheated others and thought that that's a good way to get ahead. And, we have, in America, there's a saying one of my friends had, is kick a man while he's down, in case he gets up and becomes your competition. That wasn't something he thought, but that was the psyche of what he said is the American way. Kick a man while he's down, lest he gets up and becomes your competition. And people mistaking kindness for weakness. And as people have done things for people, we steal their money, we steal their wages, and a day of reckoning comes. And now, as I look at the earth, and everybody wants to blame Klaus Schwab and blame who's stepping aside, but wants to blame everything around them, but the one thing they don't do is take responsibility themselves. What is your world? What is your world created? Where is your world going? And as you can bring peace to your own world, it can seem so far back, but it's really not. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step, right? Take that one step and just say, for me, I reached out to God. God, I've been living my way. I've been doing things the way I thought they needed to be done, and it just hasn't worked out. And we can look at God's laws and say, they don't matter, they're irrelevant, and really they're not. It's kind of like gravity, right? I drop something in gravity and say, I can beat the law of gravity, and I drop something. You'll never beat the law of gravity. Gravity is there. Gravity will break you before you break it. And so too with God. I don't believe in God's laws. Well, I don't believe in gravity. I don't believe in love. I don't believe in God. But, excuse me, they're just statements that are coming out of ignorance. They're statements that are coming out of hurt. They're statements that are coming out of past abuse. But we all know, because we feel freedom and we feel love. God is love. If we feel love, we believe in God. Oh, that's your take on it. No, that's an eternal take on it. That's coming out of what God says, coming out of experience. And so I think we can throw it all aside, but in throwing aside the things that you can't understand, the things that you can't control, you're really proving God. What you're proving is there's a God here that I don't understand and I can't control him. So I'll just throw him aside and pretend he's not there. And I can go on living all those things I've just talked about previously. But we get ourselves into a spot where we become so empty, so hollow, so alone. The only way back. We think there's no way back. For me, it's surrender. It's coming and saying, God, I surrender to you. I surrender my world of chaos to you. I surrender the things I don't understand to you. God, things have collapsed around my life I don't understand. I give them to you and you do what you want, but I'm going to go on living what I feel you're telling me to do. I'm going to live in the flow of God, the romance of the Spirit of God. And I can tell you, as I've done that, passion of life has come. And some people don't understand that. They don't like that. They can't control that. And like I've said, all it does is when in your pushing away God, all you're doing is proving that he exists. Because what you're saying is he just won't exist in my life. But he still does. Love still does. You can push love away, but it's still there. Unconditional love. Or you might be in a relationship you can push away and somebody goes away. But just because someone's not near you doesn't mean they don't love you. But you can push them away and say, there you go, see, love's not real. No, you've proved that love is real. Because those that have genuine love, that love is not influenced by actions. It's a state of being. You are loved. You are loved. But it's your choice whether you're going to surrender to that love or you're going to fight that love. And of course, you look at the wrong you've done and the things that you've destroyed and say, oh, there's no way back. And I think, I was just reading that in Jeremiah 18. God's talking about being a potter. He says, I'll make what I want, how I want. And when it's not made right, I'll pull it down and rebuild it. But you can say, what point is there to this? What hope is there? You know, you can throw your tantrums. You can think that it should be your way. But ultimately, look where it's getting us. And so I think this world that we're seeing come apart as we blame Klaus Schwab and these people. No, it's our fault. It's each and every one of us, our fault. Because we've turned our back on what matters. And we've lived out of our lust and our wanton pleasure. We've lived harlotrous lives where we've gone after whatever we can go after that's going to bring us a pleasure. We've cheated people of the things we shouldn't have cheated them. We've forgotten about the poor and the people that are needy. Look at the people that are starving and hungry and homeless. On me, and people don't care. It's somebody else's problem. I'll give $10 to that. Where's your heart? Where's your heart, friend? Well, I want to be important. I want to get somewhere. Where's your heart? Where's your heart? And as we're looking at our world coming apart, I think the best thing I can say is get back to your first love. If you've never had a first love, find it. And God talks that in the Bible. He says, come on, you've walked away from me. Get back to your first love spiritually. Get back to what matters in life. Get back to what's right inside of yourself. For me, it was surrendering and saying, Jesus, come, forgive me, fill my life. I surrender to you. And as I surrendered, I felt fullness come. I felt freedom come. I felt life come. The circumstances around me, a lot of them never changed. I still, but I feel peace. I live peace. I live life. And I get through and I overcome. Friend, the invitation's going out for you today. Get back to your first love, huh? Surrender. And wherever this world goes, your world can be on the right track. God bless.